Chapter 7 Synicidae. Cyclical linear progression, phobia of chrono, requirement each side fared, perfect heterogeneous curse. As above, so below, obsession, macro, micro, and nano. Undone, abide, time squared, heat death before universe. Dimensional cavitation bubble, shared. Length, width, and tall, beautiful fall unspared, each copy worse. Golden ratio psi of 1.618, unified life to all, transform to negative 0.618, quantum reciprocal inverse. Purple glue on time's closed loop, horror haiku, choices not remains. Understand true, you're in the soup. Love and despair blue, flexing unbending chains. Past and future happening simultaneous. Constants and variables equal balance. Abandon hope in chaos spontaneous. Same sum and outcome. The rabbit hole of Alice equals transfinite spirals, unmoved by our shifting hands, an eternal sum. My eyes well, but I do not shed sanity or saline. Such water would blur my vision. I am not emotionally compromised. I look down at my postal box. It's one of the rented reusable types. I take off my standard armor gauntlet and let the box scan me. It adds a debt to my official credit line. I open it to find two items. The larger item is a prototype tranquilizer pistol with one shot already loaded. The smaller item is a protection case for a memory chip. I remove them and close the box, slightly wondering how the box got to me. My consciousness has finished unifying with my memories. I already know everything, including what to do next. I remove my AR-23 Liberator and put it back in the hallway armory. I take great-grandfather's P4 Senator off my leg holster and place it in my universal primary weapon belt holder. The prototype pistol goes in my leg holster. I walk back to the ship's master, Wong, hand her the empty box, and tell her to follow me to the democracy officer. Democracy officer Amadi looks confused as we approach. I say, the camera that connects me to the Helldivers on standby and the main Super Earth communication system. Turn them off. The shipmaster looks shocked, and the democracy officer is obviously about to rebuke my order when I show him my barcode tattoo. Clearance level, super secret from 2 ministries. I'm not going to issue the mission orders until I'm sure the 3 of us are the only loose end Super Earth has to silence if this goes sideways. Terror reflects in the eyes of my 2-person audience momentarily. Democracy officer Amadi takes his datapad off his belt and scans me. Did I see relief in his face? He faces the shipmaster and nods. They set to work while I set my datapad to download the contents of my data chip from Angel's Venture. Terabytes of data on a coin-sized square chip flow into my screen via a loading bar. Over 2 minutes pass before I delete the data chip and pocket it. I then remove the postal chip from its protective plastic and insert it into my datapad.
Data chip connected. AI program found. Activate old gold. Y/N.
I activated him. Old gold was supposed to be outdated more than 50 years ago by AI standards. No true three-dimensional hologram was possible, and his program wasn't sleek enough to run on anything smaller than a datapad. He stood in the screen as a kind of kinagram dynamic hologram, the type on playing cards. He was shirtless, had a muscular wrestler's body, goatee, gold skin, a cape of gold floating swords, black leather pants, black eyes, and fingernails. Well, look at you! All grown up, eh, kiddo? Sorry about your sis. Your new brother sent me to you, and your pa got hell frozen over after he found out. Should still think you're missing, soon dead. Hello, Gold. Thank you. I need the supply line coordinates and the authorization mandate about the terminates. I feel slightly impressed. The files were hidden in KitScript, hex code, and C++. All outdated lingos the new Hala generation don't get with their defaulted program. The encryption rotation code was the name you and your grandpappy share. Seems like all four of you were in on this. Thanks, Gold. And yes, they were. You're not following on that fourth part. They said there might be some memory loss, not a slowing down. Reread where the authorization mandate actually came from. I find the code within the code, and no, nobody except Gold would have found this. I speak in realization. Even Super Earth would have never allowed this. In fact, this changes everything. Still, I'm glad to see you taking care of his auto revolver. You were once his also. I intend to take good care of you as well. I ain't obsolete yet, and if I'm going to go, I ain't going alone. I intend to close the circle, same as you. Now I'm loaded to the pad. My chip's blank, so I'll write the authorization for the map on it. We'll jump right up there, drainage pipe, and give 'em an old-fashioned Constitution rifle colonoscopy. I follow Gold's instructions. The shipmaster, Wong, returns. I ask her, "It's done?" She replies.
I've done the calculations myself.
Shortly after, Democracy Officer Amadi reports communications are out.
The bridge is yours, Helldiver. Take us to the fight.
I nod and insert Old Gold's former chip into the galactic war table. The warpways, or some call them supply lines, change. Before, planets under Super Earth's control that could lead you to a planet in conflict were the only viable jump points. Now, all planets were more or less available. I look to the other two and point out our route. We're going around and attacking from behind. I plot our pathway and have the table read the course.
From Shaluz, to Chelt, Imber, Claoral, Klaza, Yed Prior, Blistica, Zanian Prime, Zosma.
Then we use this old warpway to bypass Murga 4, straight to the automaton homeworld of Cyberstan. We'll need the particle deflectors at full power. You drop me on Cyberstan, get out, and mark me as killed in action on some other planet. I'll have to leave this data chip with you for your return to safe space. Delete and destroy it. None of this ever happened. They look incredulous at me. Then I state, the mission is to kill the leader of the automatons, Joel. Incredible shock electrifies eyes. I want you out of the sky before I even land. Stealth is my primary weapon. Questions, thoughts, or comments?
When the undemocratic din of our enemies has at last been silenced, we shall finally perceive the unsullied peal of democracy, reverberating evermore.
Do you believe in destiny, Amadi? Because destiny is not knowing what the future holds. It's knowing how to hold the future. I seal my helmet. His reply goes over my speaker.
The fate of all humanity's children are in your hands. Do not let them fall.
I nod and think me and Amadi both see the poetry of war. I go to the hallway armory and change into the heaviest and most reinforced armor available. The shipmaster follows me and states due to the distance and changes in direction required, we will be forced to make 5 separate FTL jumps. I nod to her and pull out a set of B-27 fortified commando armor and helmet with extra padding. Anything under a tank killer won't even make me flinch. I then attach the cape of Fallen Heroes Vengeance, issued to all Helldivers, active or other, on Malevolent Creek Memorial Day, April 3rd, 2184, and a Vitality Booster Belt, a limited and thin energy shield based on our ship's particle deflectors that negate 20% of incoming momentum, force, and impact. The moment I deploy, the SES Lady of Liberty can escape as quickly as possible. I do an equipment check. Vash, the Mataba, loaded, check. Speed loaders, locked and loaded, check. 4 stun grenades, check. Prototype pistol loaded with 1 shot, check. Survival knife blade wrapped with my handkerchief in my boot, check. Super credit chip, check. And datapad with old gold, check. Water in the canteen and ration packs, check. I walk back to the bridge and engage my course.
Alcubierre drive calibration complete. Initiating FTL jump to the Cyberstand system. FTL jump successful. Mission coordinates locked. Hellpods primed. Helldivers to Hellpods. Repeat. Helldivers to Hellpods.
I jog to my hellpod. Yelling can be heard from the crew. The ship has taken minor damage from the multiple jumps or from using the previously unlisted warpway. The ship has been discovered and the automaton's ships are closing. I lock my feet into the hellpod and descend into the giant bullet. I target the closest mission with the least difficulty, an easy zones extraction point, and prep for launch. Democracy Officer Amadi speaks through my helmet radio again.
The lives of humanity's present are a crumb. The lives of humanity's future, a boundless loaf.
I reply, a crumb in our hands. The future's loaf rises nigh, endless and untold. Amadi speaks again as my pod top closes. I can hear the smile in his voice. I wonder if he's enjoying his newfound poetic kinship with me, excited by my secret mission, or is just an overbearing last worder.
Our enemies forsook mercy long ago. Oblivion is all that awaits them now.
Hellfire scalds the soul. Ashes fall from pleading lips. Oblivion calls. I activate the launch by saluting to Super Earth. The Hellpod bullet fires and gravity realigns. Part of me wishes I wasn't lying to Amadi. Our short kinship, stronger than it should be. The truth is, the mission is not from Super Earth. The warpway made recently by the automatons, and the fact that I'm basically going rogue for personal reasons. It's true. By the Helldivers contract, conditions on the wall. I am a traitor. I am guilty of treason. Unfortunately, going through the layers of the atmosphere makes an apology near impossible, even before the SES Lady of Liberty FTL jumped away. End log. June, Wednesday the 2nd, 2184. 3 of 3.